everyone. My name is Chinmay Gupta, and thanks, Chloe, for that lovely introduction. Couldn't have done one better than myself there. So I am Chinmay, as I said, and I've worked in digital consulting like yourselves for over 15 years. And I was always fascinated by the human mind and the potential of the human mind. And so I went on to train as a cognitive behavioral therapist and a hypnotherapist. Quite a long title there, but I promise it's going to make sense as I continue this talk. I now use my passion of the human mind and working with people and my knowledge to work with individuals and leaders to achieve their true potential. I help people change their thought and behavior patterns by creating new neural pathways in their brains to override the old patterns that don't serve them a purpose anymore, that don't make any sense anymore. Today I want to give you a snapshot of how changing one small thing can have a huge impact on your life, both your personal life and your professional life. And I want to talk to you about goals. Goals are one thing that impact our entire life. Stay with me and you'll see how making this one small change in your life can impact various aspects of your life. As a therapist, I help my clients set goals in the very first session when we meet. This way we know what we're working towards, what we're aiming for, how we're going to get there, and how we know once we've achieved success, what success will look like for us. Research shows that when we can see our goal, when we can visualize our goal, it becomes much easier to accomplish success. How does this happen, you might ask? And that too with much more ease. This happens because our brains, they release dopamine when we are working towards something that inspires us, that excites us. And our entire biology, our neurobiology gets geared towards achieving that goal. Sounds fascinating? Sounds crazy? Shall we give it a try? Can you think of one small thing that you have been procrastinating on perhaps? Something that you want to achieve. It could also be a longer term goal that you have in your mind, and you can break it down into a smaller chunk. The first chapter of a book perhaps. Is there something you all can think of? And then we can do a little activity here. Is there something that you've been pushing back on? Perhaps content creation, perhaps a proposal that you've been wanting to write, perhaps playing with a new AI tool that seems just too daunting, too time-consuming. Perhaps you want to connect more with your colleagues at work. Perhaps you want to post a little bit more on LinkedIn. And again, it's just too time-consuming. Can you all think of one goal that you want to achieve? And here's where I throw in the curveball. By next Friday, 1 week from now, Friday, 5 p.m. And let it just be a little outside of your comfort zone. So it keeps you excited, keeps you on your toes. Once you've got a goal in mind, I invite you all to close your eyes. It's just a few minutes long, I promise. You've got nothing to lose, so play along. So once you've got a goal in your mind, just close your eyes. Everyone's eyes are closed, so you can close your eyes now. And just to help you focus after this busy afternoon that we've had, I'm going to ask you to take a couple of deep breaths with me. So take a deep breath in now. And now hold your breath for as long as is comfortable. And now let go through your nose. And let's do that a couple more times. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. And very gently let go through your nose, as long as you can make it, that out breath. Great. And let's do that one more time. Take a deep breath in. Hold your breath. And very gently release. Great. And now very gently bring your focus back to that goal that you've thought of today. Something you want to achieve by next Friday, 5 p.m. Put yourself in that situation where you would be, where you want to achieve that goal. And now imagine yourself taking that first step that you need to take to achieve that goal. What would that first step be? Would it be sitting down at your laptop and going on LinkedIn? Opening a PowerPoint presentation? What's that first step? And now think of the next series of steps that you would need to take. And now just imagine any obstacles that might come your way and how you would overcome those. And now imagine that it's next Friday, 5 p.m., and you have achieved your goal. It's done and dusted. Can you answer the following questions in your own mind? Where are you right now? And what are you doing? Just put yourself in that situation and give it as much detail as you can. Imagine what you might be wearing, who you might be with. Are you indoors? Are you outdoors? And now imagine, what are the positive emotions that you feel right now? What positive sensations do you feel in your body? Do you notice any changes about your facial expression, your body language, your stance, your voice even? What are the positive thoughts that go through your mind? What are the positive changes that you want to see for yourself now going forward? Can you think of any material or social benefits that might result from making these changes? Great. And now just take a couple of seconds to hold on to that sense of achievement that you're feeling right now, having accomplished that goal, how that makes you feel. Great, well done, and thank you so much for participating. And just open your eyes gently whenever you're ready. Can you feel the difference in how you feel about that goal now versus what you felt about it a few minutes ago when you didn't have the headspace for it? Does that make your goal seem a bit more achievable? Are you a bit more excited about it now? Yes? Hands? Maybe? Okay, great. You are excited now because your brain releases dopamine when you contemplate success. Just the way your brain doesn't know the difference between visualizations and reality. It treats both of them in the same way. So just as when you're very hungry and you think of something tasty, you salivate, just like you get butterflies in your stomach before a difficult presentation or a pitch, your brain releases the feel-good hormones when you contemplate success. And this happens in microseconds. Before, I've had some people ask me that. This happens literally in microseconds. So that visualization that you did has already given you that hit of dopamine right now. And you can use this dopamine to propel your goals further. The goals can be personal goals, they can be your professional goals. It could be you signing up for a 10K run, perhaps with your team, or making a resolve to eat healthier or exercise more. Whatever your goal is, it should inspire you, because our brains, they light up when we feel excitement working towards a goal. We feel energized, and this propels us to move closer to the goal, to work harder towards that goal. And that dopamine that our brain releases, it helps us think better and plan better. It helps us to learn better even. And this reinforces that sense of achievement that we feel when we achieve goals. And achieving one goal, it propels us to work towards another. And that cycle, it improves our confidence and our self-esteem. And if you have teams that you manage, which I believe you might have, can you imagine that happy environment that you might be able to create in your workplace by setting goals that are clear, that are short and achievable, to keep that dopamine flowing? Because happy employees perform way better. There are numerous studies to show that. In fact, I was reading a research last week that said happier employees in companies perform 13% better than those that are not so happy. But we don't need research to tell us that. That's obvious. Happy employees are just not more productive, but they are also much more engaged and less absent from work. So those are great reasons why we should work on improving that engagement, setting goals that are more achievable, that are more realistic in the workplace. Goal setting is an art that impacts our entire life, and we can all perhaps become better at this. We can gain so much value in our work and in our personal relationships. But what is it that we can do to rewire our brains to make goal setting more efficient? Well, this is a very big and long topic to discuss, and I've only got 10 or 15 minutes today. I'll try and compress some of my learnings for you today. So as an overview, I would say definitely break down your longer term goals, your annual goals, into smaller, more achievable chunks. It's very difficult to get motivated by goals that are so far off into the distance that they seem unachievable. Also, like we did today, visualize that goal to make it more tangible. You don't have to sit in teams with your eyes closed, but I'm sure you can come up with more creative ways to do this with your own teams, or perhaps in your own time. Also, ensure that the goals stretch you a little bit to keep you excited. And so perhaps if you're a desk potato, walking 2 miles may or may not excite you, but perhaps running 2 miles with Strava might. Also ensure that your goals are realistic. So I'm a desk potato, and I gave myself a target of doing 10,000 steps every day from I won't tell you where. And I failed. And I failed the second day, and I failed the third day, and I failed a whole week. And then I had to make my goal more realistic. I've now made my goal to 5,000 steps a day with a little bit more exercise at home. And once I've achieved that goal, I will then take it up a little notch higher. So ensure that your goals are more realistic. And lastly, they have to be something that inspires you to be consistent. So you might want to think, what is it that I can do consistently? And lastly, I would encourage you to find ways to make your workplaces more nurturing in terms of what we discussed earlier. Without purpose, without growth opportunities, and without workplace connections, dopamine levels drop. And this leaves employees unmotivated, unfocused, and unproductive. And this can also have a huge impact on their mental health. So activities such as connecting with colleagues, helping others, and experiencing the pride of accomplishing something meaningful together as a team that inspires people and that gets the dopamine levels flowing. So also setting clear and meaningful goals has a huge impact on employee efficiency and workplace productivity. Before I end this chat, I want to bring you back to the goal that you visualized earlier a few minutes ago. If you lose the momentum, you can always do the visualization again. It doesn't have to be long. The best time to do it is just before you wake up in the morning or last thing before you sleep. That's when your mind and your body are at ease and completely relaxed. And the more you visualize your goal, the more your brain believes that that is what is reality and makes it easier for you to achieve that goal. But either way, I hope you do work on that goal this coming week and you can achieve it by 5 p.m. next Friday. And perhaps we can all do a little virtual cheers with a drink or a piece of cake next week and use that hit of dopamine to set your next goal that you can work towards. Thank you very much.